My name is Will Harlan, and I've learned that modern marriage comes with features I never asked for. Like location tracking, like read receipts that tell you exactly when your wife saw your message and chose to ignore it, like the ability to watch your entire life unravel in real time, courtesy of Apple's finest technology. It's Tuesday, 7:43 p.m., and I'm sitting in my Toyota Camry outside Katie's soccer practice, watching 11-year-olds chase a ball around like caffeinated hamsters. My phone buzzes. Text from Erin, my wife of 13 years. Running late tonight, huge traffic jam on 35, don't wait up. The thing about being an IT consultant is that you develop certain skills, pattern recognition, for instance, problem solving, and a healthy skepticism about people's technical excuses. I open Find My iPhone. Erin's little blue dot isn't on Interstate 35. It's not stuck in traffic. It's parked outside 1247 Maple Grove Drive, which according to my quick property search belongs to one Brian McConnell, real estate agent extraordinaire. The same Brian who's been liking every single one of Erin's Instagram posts for the past 6 months. The same Brian whose business card I found in her purse last week with "Thanks for the amazing evening" scrawled on the back in his pretentious handwriting. My hands don't shake. That's the weird part. I thought they would. Instead, I feel this strange calm washing over me, like when you finally figure out why your computer's been running slow and discover it's packed with malware. The problem has a name now. Problems with names can be solved. Dad, practice is over. Katie bounds toward the car, a grass stains on her knees and pure joy on her face. Behind her, Emma trails along, more interested in the dandelions she's collected than the soccer ball at her feet. How'd it go, superstar? I ask, helping them load their gear. Coach says I'm getting really good at corner kicks. Can we get ice cream? Not tonight, kiddo. School tomorrow. I buckle Emma into her booster seat, my mind already working through possibilities. Your mom's working late again. She's always working late, Emma says, and there's something in her 8-year-old voice that makes my chest tighten. Kids notice everything, even when we think they don't. We drive home through our perfect suburban neighborhood, past perfect lawns and perfect mailboxes, while I contemplate the perfect revenge. Because that's what this is going to be. Not some messy confrontation, not some dramatic scene, something surgical, something that fits the crime. At home, I get the girls settled with homework and snacks. Erin's location hasn't moved, still at Brian's house, still lying to my face via text message. I pour myself a glass of wine, the good stuff Erin bought for special occasions, and open my laptop. Time to do what I do best. Gather information. Brian McConnell, 36 years old, married to Dana McConnell, a nurse at Austin General, 2 kids, both in elementary school, drives a black Escalade with vanity plates that read "Sold It," works for Premier Realty, where his boss is one Margaret Chen, a woman whose Yelp reviews suggest she doesn't tolerate nonsense. His social media is a goldmine. Pictures of happy family barbecues, posts about integrity in real estate, a recent photo with the caption, "Nothing matters more than trust." The irony is so thick you could spread it on toast. But here's the beautiful part. Brian's been sloppy. His location services are on. His Instagram stories show him at various restaurants and hotels over the past month, always captioned with real estate jargon. Closing deals at the Marriott. Sealing the deal at Chez Laurent. Except I can cross-reference these with Erin's location history, and guess what? She was at every single one of these places, at exactly the same times. My phone buzzes. Another text from Erin. Traffic's finally moving. Be home in an hour. I screenshot her message, then screenshot her actual location. Still at Brian's house. Still lying. Then I do something that would have seemed impossible this morning. I forward both screenshots to Dana McConnell's phone number, which I found in the white pages, along with a simple message. Thought you should know where your husband really is tonight. Send. The wine tastes better now. Smoother. I lean back in my desk chair and wait. Modern technology is amazing. You can destroy someone's life in under 30 seconds, and they won't even know it's happening until it's too late. My phone buzzes again. This time it's a call from Erin. I let it go to voicemail, then another call. Another voicemail. Finally, a text. Will, please call me. It's urgent. I pour another glass of wine and open my laptop again, because I'm just getting started. See, the thing about being underestimated is that people don't see you coming. For 13 years, I've been the reliable husband, the good provider, the guy who fixes the Wi-Fi and remembers to take out the trash, the guy who doesn't make waves, but I've been watching, learning, and now it's time to put that education to use. I open a new browser window and navigate to Premier Realty's website. They have a report concerns about our agents form. How convenient. I fill it out carefully, professionally, include the screenshots, include Brian's pattern of behavior, include a note about how this reflects on their company's reputation. Submit. Next, I create a new email account and send the same information to the local real estate board, then to the Better Business Bureau, then to 3 different neighborhood Facebook groups where Brian has posted his services. Each email is polite, professional, just a concerned citizen making sure people have all the facts. My phone rings again. Erin, of course. This time I answer. Will, thank God. Listen, I need you to... How's traffic? I ask. Silence. Long enough for me to take another sip of wine. What? You said you were stuck in traffic. Just wondering how it's moving now. It's fine. Look, Will, I need to tell you something. I'm sure you do. But first, let me tell you something. I know exactly where you are, Erin. I know exactly what you've been doing, and I know exactly what's about to happen next. Another silence. This one longer. Will, please, let me explain. Oh, you don't need to explain anything to me, but you might want to start thinking about how you're going to explain it to everyone else. I hang up. The girls are upstairs, probably getting ready for bed. Emma's singing some song from school, her voice drifting down the hallway like everything's normal, like their mother isn't currently having the worst night of her life in some real estate agent's driveway. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. Because that's where she is now. I check her location again, and she's moved. Not toward home, toward Brian's driveway. Probably having a panicked conversation about damage control. And too late for that. My laptop chimes with a new email. It's from Dana McConnell. Thank you for letting me know. I'm handling this now. I raise my wine glass in a silent toast to Dana. I have a feeling she's going to handle this very thoroughly. The front door opens. Erin's home early. Her heels click across the hardwood floor faster than usual, nervous. Will, we need to talk. I close my laptop and head downstairs. She's standing in the kitchen, still in her work clothes, but her hair's messed up and her lipstick's gone. She looks exactly like someone who's been caught. How was your evening? I ask. Will, I can explain everything. I'm sure you can. But here's the thing, Erin. I don't actually care about your explanations anymore. What I care about is what happens next. She stares at me like she's seeing me for the first time. Maybe she is. What do you mean? I smile. It's not a nice smile. I mean, buckle up, sweetheart, because you have no idea what you've just started. Wednesday morning arrives like any other, except everything's different. I make coffee, pack the girls' lunches, and check my phone for the overnight entertainment. 17 missed calls from Erin, 12 voicemails I haven't bothered listening to, and 3 text messages that tell me everything I need to know about how last night went. Please don't do this. We can work this out. Think about the girls. Always the girls. Funny how she didn't think about them when she was playing house with Brian McConnell. Erin's already gone when I wake up. Probably couldn't face me this morning, or maybe she's doing damage control. Either way, I have work to do. I drop Katie and Emma at school, giving them extra hugs and promising pizza for dinner. They don't need to know their world is about to change. Not yet. At my office, a cramped space in a strip mall between a nail salon and a tax preparation service. I settle in with fresh coffee and open my laptop. Time to see what overnight developments have occurred. My phone buzzes. Text from Pete, my bartender friend who knows everyone's business. Dude, did you see the drama on the neighborhood app? Some real estate guy got busted cheating. His wife went nuclear. I open Nextdoor and find the thread. Dana McConnell has posted a lengthy, detailed account of her husband's activities, complete with screenshots and a professional headshot of Brian looking smug. The comments are already piling up. Neighbors expressing shock. Other women sharing their own Brian McConnell stories. Apparently, I wasn't the first to discover his extracurricular activities. This man has been lying to his family and clients for months, Dana's post reads. He uses his real estate business as cover for meeting married women. I have documentation of his pattern of behavior and will be sharing it with his employer and professional licensing board. The woman doesn't mess around. I respect that. My office phone rings. Unknown number. Will Harlan. Mr. Harlan, this is Margaret Chen from Premier Realty. I believe you sent us some information yesterday regarding one of our agents. I did. Could you come in today to discuss this matter? We take these allegations very seriously. I'll be there at 2. Thank you. And Mr. Harlan, bring any additional documentation you might have. I smile. Margaret Chen sounds like someone who runs a tight ship. Brian's about to find out what happens when you embarrass your boss. The morning passes quickly. I have actual work to do. A small business owner whose system keeps crashing, probably because his nephew upgraded it with software downloaded from questionable websites. Easy fix, good money, and it keeps my mind occupied while phase 2 of my plan develops. At lunch, I drive past Brian's office. His black Escalade is in the parking lot, but something's different. There's a woman standing next to it, taking pictures. She's about 40, short brown hair, wearing scrubs. That would be Dana documenting her husband's assets before he figures out what's happening. Smart woman. My phone buzzes. Text from Erin. Can we meet for coffee, please? I type back, busy today, maybe tomorrow. Will, this is important. So is our marriage. I don't wait for her response. At 2 o'clock sharp, I'm sitting in Margaret Chen's office. She's exactly what I expected. Professional, no nonsense, with the kind of stare that probably makes grown men confess their sins. Mr. Harlan, thank you for coming in. I've reviewed your complaint and done some additional investigation. This is quite serious. I figured you'd want to know. Indeed. Brian McConnell has been with our company for 8 years. His conduct reflects directly on our reputation. She slides a folder across the desk. These are additional complaints we've received since yesterday. Apparently your report opened the floodgates. I flip through the folder. 5 more women, all with similar stories. Brian using his real estate connections to meet married clients, hotel receipts, restaurant bills charged to the company account, a pattern of deception that goes back years. What happens now? I ask. Mr. McConnell's employment is terminated, effective immediately. We're also reporting his conduct to the state licensing board and considering legal action for misuse of company resources. That seems appropriate. Margaret Chen leans back in her chair. Mr. Harlan, I have to ask, how did you discover this information? My wife has been having an affair with Brian McConnell for several months. I found out yesterday and thought his wife deserved to know. She nods slowly. I'm sorry for your situation, but I appreciate you bringing this to our attention. Men like Brian McConnell give our entire industry a bad reputation. I stand to leave, then pause. Ms. Chen, Brian drives a company vehicle, doesn't he? He did. We repossessed it this morning. Perfect. I'm driving home when my phone rings. Pete, Will, you need to get down to Murphy's. Your wife is here, and she's making a scene. Murphy's is the local bar where everyone goes to drink away their suburban problems. It's also where Erin apparently decided to rally support for her side of the story. What kind of scene? She's telling everyone you're stalking her. Says you're controlling and dangerous. Jess and Tasha are backing her up, but most people aren't buying it. I'll be there in 10 minutes. Murphy's is crowded for a Wednesday afternoon. I spot Erin immediately. She's holding court at a corner table with her usual crew. Jess, the enabler who's been divorced 3 times. Tasha, who treats other people's drama like her personal entertainment. And Mark, Erin's gay best friend who lives for this kind of mess. They see me walk in. The conversation stops. I order a beer from Pete, who slides it across the bar with a meaningful look. Then I turn around and survey the room. Half these people know me. I've fixed their computers, helped with their Wi-Fi, been the reliable guy at neighborhood barbecues for over a decade. Afternoon, everyone, I say loudly enough for the whole bar to hear. Beautiful day, isn't it? Erin's face goes pale. She knows what's coming. You know, it's funny how technology works these days, I continue, pulling out my phone. Like location services. Amazing how accurate they are. I hold up my phone, showing the screenshots from last night. Erin's location at Brian's house while she texted me about traffic jams. Or voice recording apps. Did you know most phones can record conversations now? Crystal clear quality. I press play on an audio file. Erin's voice fills the bar. Brian, you have to understand, Will doesn't satisfy me anymore. He's boring. Predictable. You make me feel alive again. Brian's voice responds, Don't worry, baby. After you leave him, we can be together properly. The bar is completely silent now. That was recorded 3 weeks ago at the Marriott downtown, I announce. The same day my wife told me she was at a work conference. Erin stands up, knocking over her chair. Will, you can't what? Tell the truth? I look around the room. See, my wife has been telling people I'm controlling, dangerous. But here's what actually happened. She's been having an affair with a married real estate agent for months. Lying to me, lying to you, lying to his wife and kids. Jess tries to speak up. Will, there are 2 sides to every... You're right, Jess. There are 2 sides. There's the truth, and there's whatever story Erin's been feeding you. I turn to face the room again. Brian McConnell got fired today. His wife kicked him out. The state licensing board is investigating him. All because he couldn't keep his hands off other men's wives. Tasha's mouth is hanging open. Mark looks like he wants to disappear, but the rest of the bar is nodding, understanding. These are working people. They know the difference between right and wrong. And you know what the really sad part is? I take a long drink of my beer. I would have worked on our marriage, gone to counseling, done whatever it took to fix things. But instead of talking to me, she decided to humiliate me behind my back. Erin's crying now, but I'm not done. So if anyone asks, here's the real story. My wife threw away 13 years of marriage for a sleazy real estate agent who was cheating on his own family. And when I found out, I made sure everyone else knew the truth too. I finished my beer and put a 20 on the bar. Pete, thanks for the drink. Everyone else, have a great afternoon. As I walk toward the door, I hear voices starting up behind me, not supporting Erin, questioning her, asking why she didn't just get a divorce if she was unhappy. My phone buzzes as I reach my car. Text from Erin. How could you do that to me? I type back, the same way you did it to me, except I'm better at it. The afternoon sun feels good on my face as I drive home. Tomorrow I'll pick up the girls from school and take them for ice cream. We'll talk about their day, their friends, their homework, normal things. Because that's what I am. A normal guy who got pushed too far and decided to push back. And I'm just getting started. Thursday morning brings unexpected visitors. I'm making pancakes for the girls when the doorbell rings. Through the peephole, I see a woman in a police uniform and a man in a cheap suit. Detective, probably. Girls, finish your breakfast. I'll be right back. I open the door with my best confused suburban dad expression. Morning, officers. How can I help you? The detective shows his badge. Detective Martinez, Austin PD. This is Officer Johnson. We'd like to ask you a few questions about a harassment complaint. Harassment? Your wife filed a report yesterday claiming you've been stalking her, accessing her private accounts, and making threats. I nod thoughtfully. Would you like some coffee? This might take a while. 5 minutes later, we're sitting at my kitchen table while Katie and Emma finish getting ready for school. Detective Martinez seems reasonable. Officer Johnson looks bored. Mr. Harlan, your wife says you've been tracking her location without her consent. Actually, we share a family plan. Location services were enabled by mutual agreement 2 years ago when Emma got lost at the mall. I pull out my phone. See? She can track my location too. Has been all along. She also claims you recorded private conversations. In Texas, you only need one party's consent to record a conversation. I was that party. I lean back in my chair. Detective, did my wife mention why I started paying attention to her activities? She said you've become increasingly controlling and paranoid. Interesting. I open my laptop and turn it toward them. These are screenshots of her location data over the past month, cross-referenced with her text messages to me about where she was supposed to be. Detective Martinez studies the screen. His expression changes. Every time she told me she was working late or at a client meeting, she was actually at the same address, 1247 Maple Grove Drive. That's Brian McConnell's house. And Mr. McConnell is? A married real estate agent who is having an affair with my wife. Was, because he got fired yesterday when his employer found out he was using company resources to cheat on his family. Officer Johnson perks up. How did his employer find out? I told them, along with the state licensing board, the Better Business Bureau, and his wife. Detective Martinez closes my laptop. Mr. Harlan, what your wife did was hurtful, but that doesn't give you the right to. To what? Tell the truth? Share factual information with interested parties? I stand up and refill my coffee. Detective, I haven't broken any laws. I haven't threatened anyone. I haven't even raised my voice. I simply made sure that everyone affected by my wife's choices had access to the same information I did. Dad, we're ready for school, Katie calls from the hallway. Just a minute, sweetheart. I turn back to the officers. Gentlemen, I need to get my daughters to school. If you want to arrest me for something, please do it now. Otherwise, I have responsibilities. Detective Martinez hands me his card. We're not arresting anyone today. But Mr. Harlan, I'd suggest you let the lawyers handle things from here on out. Absolutely. Great advice. After they leave, I drop the girls at school and drive to my office. The morning's events have actually improved my mood. If Erin's desperate enough to involve the police, it means my plan is working better than expected. My phone rings as I'm unlocking the office door. Unknown number. Will Harlan. Mr. Harlan, this is Dana McConnell. I think we should meet. Interesting development. An hour later, I'm sitting across from Brian's soon-to-be ex-wife at a coffee shop downtown. She's prettier than her Facebook photos suggested, with intelligent eyes and the kind of composure that comes from dealing with difficult situations professionally. "Thank you for meeting me," she says, "and thank you for Monday night. I needed to know." "You're welcome. How are you holding up?" "Better than expected. Turns out I wasn't the only one who suspected something was wrong." She slides a folder across the table. These are bank statements from Brian's personal account. He's been spending money on hotels, restaurants, gifts, thousands of dollars over the past 6 months. I flip through the statements. Brian wasn't just cheating, he was doing it in style. Expensive dinners, weekend getaways, jewelry purchases, all while his wife worked double shifts at the hospital to pay for their kids' activities. "Dana, why are you showing me this?" "Because your wife isn't the only one he's been seeing." That stops me cold. "What?" "I hired a private investigator yesterday. Brian has been juggling at least 3 different affairs over the past year. Your wife, a divorced woman named Jennifer, and someone else the investigator is still tracking down." I lean back in my chair, processing this information. Erin wasn't special. She was just another conquest in Brian's rotation. "Does Erin know?" "I doubt it. Brian's very good at compartmentalizing his lies." Dana's voice hardens. "But she's about to find out." "What do you mean?" "I'm filing for divorce today. Full custody, spousal support, division of assets. My lawyer is very aggressive, and Brian's conduct gives us significant leverage." She pauses. "But I'm also doing something else." "Which is?" "I'm making sure everyone knows exactly what kind of man Brian McConnell is, and what kind of women choose to get involved with married fathers." There's steel in her voice that makes me respect her even more. "Dana, I appreciate you telling me this, but Will, your wife helped destroy my family. She knew Brian was married. She knew he had children. She chose to pursue this relationship anyway." Dana leans forward. "I don't blame you for what you did Monday night, but I want you to know that I'm not done yet." My phone buzzes. Text from Erin. "We need to talk. Tonight. It's important." I show the message to Dana. She smiles, but it's not a pleasant expression. She probably just found out about Jennifer. How would she find out? Because I sent her the bank statements an hour ago. I stare at Dana with newfound admiration. "You're scary." I'm a mother protecting her children from their father's poor choices. That makes me dangerous. We shake hands outside the coffee shop. As I walk to my car, I realize that Erin isn't just dealing with my revenge anymore. She's dealing with a woman who has professional training in crisis management and absolutely nothing left to lose. My phone rings. Erin, of course. "Will, we have to meet, right now." "I'm working." "Brian's been lying to me about everything." "Really? A man who cheats on his wife turned out to be dishonest?" I'm shocked. "Will, please, I made a terrible mistake. I want to fix this." "Erin, you didn't make a mistake. You made a series of deliberate choices over several months. You planned this. You lied about it. You humiliated me and our family. I know, but... And now you're upset because you found out you weren't his only side piece? That he was playing you the same way you were playing me?" Silence. "Erin, here's what's going to happen. You're going to call a lawyer. You're going to file for divorce. And you're going to try to salvage whatever relationship you can with our daughters." "What about us?" "There is no us. There hasn't been an us since you decided Brian McConnell was more important than your family." I hang up and drive back to my office. There's actual work to do, and I need the distraction. But as I'm fixing a corrupted database for a local restaurant, I can't stop thinking about Dana's words. She's not done yet. Neither am I. By evening, the local Facebook groups are buzzing with new information. Someone, probably Dana, has shared Brian's dating profiles from multiple apps, all showing him as single and successful. Screenshots of his messages to various women, photos of him at restaurants with different companions. The comments are brutal. Women sharing their own experiences with Brian. Men expressing disgust at his behavior. Real estate agents distancing themselves from his conduct. But the most interesting development is in the neighborhood group. Someone has posted a detailed timeline of Brian's affairs, including names, dates, and locations. Erin's name is prominently featured, along with photos of her car in Brian's driveway on multiple occasions. My phone buzzes constantly with messages from neighbors, co-workers, and acquaintances. Most are supportive, a few are judgmental, but everyone wants to know what really happened. I don't respond to any of them. The facts speak for themselves. At bedtime, Katie asks why Mommy seems sad lately. Sometimes grown-ups make mistakes that hurt people they love, I tell her. Mommy made some bad choices, and now she has to deal with the consequences? Are you and Mommy getting divorced? The question hits harder than I expected. Probably, sweetheart. but that doesn't mean we love you and Emma any less. Will we still live here? You'll always have a home with me. After the girls are asleep, I pour a glass of wine and check my phone one more time. 17 missed calls from Erin, 3 voicemails I won't listen to, and 1 text message that tells me everything I need to know about how her day went. Brian won't return my calls. His phone goes straight to voicemail. I type back, maybe he's busy with Jennifer. Then I turn off my phone and go to bed. Tomorrow is going to be interesting. Friday brings the kind of autumn morning that makes you remember why you love Texas. Clear skies, cool air, and the promise of high school football games and backyard barbecues. Too bad I'm about to ruin someone's day. The girls are unusually quiet at breakfast. Emma keeps glancing at Erin's empty chair, and Katie asks twice if Mommy is coming home tonight. I give them honest answers without unnecessary details. They're smart kids. They can sense the change in our family's atmosphere. Dad, is Mommy in trouble? Emma asks as I'm packing her lunch. Mommy made some choices that hurt our family. Now we're all trying to figure out what comes next. Like when I broke your coffee mug and had to use my allowance to buy a new one. Something like that, sweetheart, but bigger. After dropping them at school, I drive to the office with my phone buzzing constantly. Erin's been calling since 6 a.m. I finally answer on the 10th ring. What? Will, I need money. My accounts are frozen. Which accounts? All of them. The checking, savings, even my credit cards. I pull into my parking space and smile. That's interesting. Did you call the bank? They said there's a hold on all joint accounts pending a legal review. Huh, wonder what that's about. Will, you know exactly what that's about. You did this. Actually, I didn't, but I have a pretty good idea who did. Silence, then. What do you mean? Erin, when you have an affair with a married man, you don't just anger his wife. You give her legal ammunition. Dana McConnell is a smart woman with a good lawyer and a very legitimate grievance against both you and Brian. She can't freeze my bank accounts. She can if her lawyer argues that marital assets were used to facilitate the affair. Hotel rooms, dinners, gifts, all paid for with community property that belonged to both spouses. More silence. Will, I need money for gas and groceries. Get a job. I have a job. Had. Past tense. I called your boss yesterday and shared some interesting information about your recent travel expenses. Turns out the company frowns on employees using business trips as cover for personal affairs. The sound she makes is somewhere between a sob and a scream. You're destroying my life. No, Erin. I'm revealing the life you already destroyed. There's a difference. I hang up and walk into my office, where a surprise is waiting. Brian McConnell is sitting in my client chair, looking like he hasn't slept in days. His usually perfect hair is disheveled, his expensive shirt is wrinkled, and there are dark circles under his eyes. Hello, Brian. This is unexpected. He stands up, trying to project confidence, but his hands are shaking. We need to talk. Do we? About what? About stopping this madness. About being reasonable adults. I sit down at my desk and open my laptop, ignoring him completely. Brian, you're trespassing. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to leave before I call the police. Will, listen to me. This has gone too far. Dana's trying to take my kids. She's frozen all my accounts. She's telling everyone in town that I'm some kind of predator. Are you? What? Are you a predator? Because from where I sit, you look like a married man who spent months manipulating my wife into an affair while lying to your own family. Brian steps closer to my desk. Your wife pursued me. She came on to me at an open house. She made it clear she was available. And you, being a man of strong moral character, immediately told her you were married and not interested. It wasn't like that. No, I imagine it wasn't. I look up from my laptop. Brian, let me ask you something. How many other wives have you been helping with their real estate needs? His face goes pale. I don't know what you mean. Jennifer Morrison. Ring a bell? How about Sarah Chen, or maybe Lisa Rodriguez? Each name hits him like a physical blow. He sits down heavily in the chair. How do you know about your other girlfriends? Brian, you're not nearly as clever as you think you are. Dana hired a private investigator. Your phone records, credit card statements, hotel receipts. It's all documented. Will, you have to understand. My marriage was already over. Dana and I haven't been happy for years. Then you should have gotten divorced before you started collecting other men's wives like baseball cards. My phone rings. Dana McConnell. Excuse me, Brian. I need to take this. I answer the call. Good morning, Dana. Will, is Brian McConnell in your office right now? I look at Brian, who's gone from pale to green. How did you know? I'm having him followed. My investigator says he's been there for 20 minutes. That's correct. Good. Keep him there. I'm 5 minutes away with my lawyer and a process server. I'll do my best. I hang up and smile at Brian. You might want to sit down. This is about to get interesting. Who was that? Your wife. Well, soon-to-be ex-wife. She's on her way over with some paperwork for you. Brian jumps up and heads for the door, but it opens before he reaches it. Dana walks in, followed by a woman in an expensive suit and a man carrying a briefcase. Hello, Brian, Dana says calmly. Running away again? Dana, we can work this out. We don't need lawyers. Actually, we do. The woman in the suit steps forward. Mr. McConnell, I'm Patricia Williams, Mrs. McConnell's attorney. You're being served with divorce papers, a restraining order, and a motion for emergency custody. The process server hands Brian a thick stack of documents. Brian McConnell, you've been served. Brian flips through the papers, his face growing more panicked with each page. Dana, you can't take my kids. I can, and I will. Your conduct has made you an unfit parent. What conduct? I had an affair. Lots of people have affairs. Patricia Williams opens her briefcase. Mr. McConnell, you've had multiple affairs over the past 3 years. You've used marital assets to fund these relationships. You've exposed your family to potential health risks, and you've demonstrated a pattern of deception that makes you unreliable as a co-parent. This is insane. What's insane, Dana says quietly, is that you thought you could destroy our family without consequences. Brian turns to me, desperate. Will, tell them this is crazy. Tell them you understand. Actually, Brian, I think Dana's being remarkably reasonable. If someone had been cheating on me for 3 years, I'd probably be less civilized about it. But Erin said... What did Erin say? She said you were controlling, abusive, that she was afraid of you. I laugh. Actually laugh. Brian, did it ever occur to you that a woman who would lie to her husband for months might also lie to her boyfriend? The look on his face tells me it hadn't. Patricia Williams checks her watch. Mr. McConnell, you have 72 hours to vacate the family residence. All joint accounts have been frozen pending asset evaluation. You're prohibited from contacting your children except through supervised visitation, which can be arranged through the court. Where am I supposed to live? That's not our problem, Dana says. Maybe one of your girlfriends will take you in. Brian looks around the room like a trapped animal. This isn't over. Yes, Dana says firmly. It is. After they leave, I sit alone in my office, processing what just happened. Brian McConnell went from successful real estate agent to homeless pariah in 4 days. His career is ruined, his marriage is over, and his reputation is destroyed, all because he couldn't keep his hands off other men's wives. My phone buzzes. Text from Erin. Brian came by. He says you're trying to destroy him. I type back, I don't need to destroy Brian. He did that himself. Will, we need to talk, face to face. Fine. Murphy's Bar, 7 o'clock. Bring a lawyer. Why do I need a lawyer? Because after tonight, we're not going to be talking anymore. I spend the rest of the day working on actual IT problems, but my mind keeps drifting to the evening ahead. For months, Erin has been controlling the narrative, making excuses, trying to manage the situation. Tonight, she's going to hear some hard truths. At 6:30, I pick up the girls from after-school care and drop them at Pete's house. His wife Sarah is happy to watch them for a few hours. You okay? Pete asks as the girls run off to play with his kids. Getting there. Need backup tonight? No, but thanks. Murphy's is crowded when I arrive. Erin's already there, sitting at the same corner table where she tried to rally support earlier this week. She looks terrible, tired, stressed, and older than her 34 years. I order a beer and join her. You look like hell, I say. Thanks. That's exactly what I needed to hear. Erin, you asked for this meeting. What do you want? I want my life back. Which life? The one where you were married to me or the one where you were cheating with Brian McConnell? Will, I made a mistake. Stop. Just stop with the mistake narrative. You didn't accidentally trip and fall into an affair. You made dozens of deliberate choices over several months. She starts crying, but I'm unmoved. You chose to lie to me. You chose to lie to our daughters. You chose to help a married man cheat on his family. Those weren't mistakes, Erin. They were decisions. I was unhappy. So you should have talked to me, or gone to counseling, or asked for a divorce. You had options that didn't involve destroying multiple families. I know, but you chose the selfish option, the one that let you have your cake and eat it too. I lean back in my chair and study her face. Erin, do you know what the saddest part of this whole situation is? She shakes her head. I would have fought for our marriage. If you'd come to me and said you were unhappy, we could have worked on it. But instead, you decided I wasn't worth the effort. That's not true, isn't it? You spent more energy planning dates with Brian than you spent on our relationship in the past year. She doesn't deny it. So here's what's going to happen. We're getting divorced. You can file, or I will. You can have supervised visitation with the girls until you prove you're stable, and you can try to rebuild your life without destroying anyone else's. Will, please, I'm done, Erin. We're done. The only relationship we have now is as co-parents, and even that depends on you getting your act together. I finish my beer and stand up. Oh, and Erin? Brian's homeless now. His wife took everything, just in case you were thinking about running to him for comfort. Her face crumbles, but I'm already walking away. Outside, the cool evening air feels good on my face. My phone buzzes with a text from Katie. Dad, when are you coming to get us? On my way, sweetheart. As I drive to Pete's house, I realize something has changed. The anger that's been driving me for the past week is fading, replaced by something calmer, more focused. Erin made her choices. Now she gets to live with the consequences, and I get to move on. Saturday morning arrives with the kind of peace I haven't felt in months. No frantic phone calls from Erin, no dramatic confrontations. Just me, 2 cups of coffee, and the sound of my daughters laughing in the backyard. Katie's teaching Emma how to throw a football, and they're both terrible at it. The ball keeps sailing over the fence into Mrs. Patterson's yard, but she doesn't seem to mind. She waves at me through her kitchen window and points at the girls with obvious affection. This is what I'm fighting for. Not revenge against Erin or Brian. This moment, this normalcy, this home. My phone buzzes. Text from Pete. Heard through the grapevine that Brian's been staying at the Motel 6 on Highway 35. Thought you should know. I type back, why would I care where Brian's staying? Because Erin's been seen going there. That stops me cold. I dial Pete's number. What do you mean she's been seen there? Tasha saw her car in the parking lot yesterday afternoon. Figured you should know in case it affects custody stuff. I thank Pete and hang up, then stare out at my daughters. Erin's still seeing Brian, even after everything that's happened, even knowing he's been juggling multiple affairs, even knowing he's lost everything because of his choices. Some people never learn. The morning passes quietly. We make pancakes, work on homework, and watch a movie. Normal Saturday activities that feel precious after the chaos of the past week. Around noon, Emma asks when Mommy's coming home. Mommy's living somewhere else now, I tell her. But you'll still see her soon. Is it because she was lying about where she was? Kids notice everything. Yes, sweetheart. Mommy made some bad choices, and now our family has to change. Will she still be our mommy? Always. Being a parent doesn't change, even when other things do. At 3 o'clock, my peaceful Saturday gets interrupted. The doorbell rings, and through the peephole I see Erin standing on my porch. She looks better than she did last night, showered, dressed nicely, makeup carefully applied. She's prepared for battle. I open the door but don't invite her in. What do you want, Erin? I want to see my daughters. Call first next time. Will, they're my children too. Are they? Because for the past 6 months you've been more interested in playing house with Brian McConnell than being their mother. Her face hardens. I'm taking them for the afternoon. No, you're not. You can't stop me. Actually, I can. I pull out my phone and show her a document. Temporary custody order, filed yesterday. You get supervised visitation twice a week until we sort out the permanent arrangement. She stares at the screen, her face going through several emotions. Shock, anger, desperation. You can't do this to me. I didn't do this to you. You did it to yourself. Dad, who's at the door? Katie appears behind me, curious. Erin's expression immediately changes, becoming soft and maternal. Hi, baby. Mommy came to see you and Emma. Katie looks between us, sensing the tension. Are you coming inside? Mommy can visit for an hour, I say carefully, in the living room. We settle into an awkward family tableau, Erin on the couch with both girls, me in the chair across from them. The conversation is stilted, full of careful questions and diplomatic answers. The girls sense something's wrong, but can't quite identify what. After 30 minutes, Emma gets bored and goes back outside. Katie follows, leaving Erin and me alone. This is ridiculous, she says immediately. Supervised visitation? I'm their mother. You're also someone who's been making increasingly poor decisions. The court agreed that supervision was appropriate until you demonstrate stability. I'm perfectly stable. Are you? Because Pete tells me you've been visiting Brian at his motel. Her face flushes. That's none of your business. It is when it affects my daughters. Erin, the man destroyed his own family. He lost his job, his house, his kids. What exactly do you think he has to offer you? He loves me. I actually laugh. He loves you? Erin, he was cheating on you with at least 2 other women. He lied to you about everything. He used you the same way he used his wife. You don't understand our relationship. I understand that you're so desperate to avoid taking responsibility for your choices that you're clinging to the person who helped you make them. She stands up, angry now. Will, I made a mistake. I'm sorry, but you're being vindictive. I'm being protective of my daughters, my home, and my future. Your daughters are my daughters, too. Then act like it. Get counseling. Get a job. Get your life together. Prove that you can be the mother they deserve. I don't need to prove anything to you. You're right. You need to prove it to them. Through the window, I can see Katie and Emma playing catch. They're laughing, carefree, oblivious to the adult drama surrounding them. Erin, look at them. Really look. They're happy, stable, safe. Don't you want to be part of that? For a moment, her expression softens. Of course I do. Then stop trying to win some imaginary battle with me and start focusing on being their mother. She's quiet for a long moment, watching our daughters through the glass. Will, what if I ended things with Brian? What if I got counseling? Could we try again? The question hangs in the air between us. 6 months ago, I would have said yes without hesitation. Even a week ago, I might have been tempted. No, Erin, we can't. Why not? Because trust isn't something you can rebuild with good intentions. It's earned through consistent actions over time, and because I don't love you anymore. She flinches like I've slapped her. I don't love the person you've become. I don't respect the choices you've made. And I don't want to spend the rest of my life wondering when you'll decide I'm not enough again. Tears start flowing down her cheeks, but I continue. But I will co-parent with you. I will support your relationship with the girls, and I will treat you with civility for their sake. That's it? After 13 years? After 13 years, you decided our marriage was worth less than a few months of excitement with a married real estate agent. So yes, that's it. She wipes her eyes and stands up. I should go. Probably. At the door, she turns back. Will, I really am sorry. I know you are, but sorry doesn't fix this. After she leaves, I sit on the porch and watch my daughters play. The afternoon sun is warm on my face, and for the first time in months, I feel genuinely peaceful. My phone buzzes. Text from Dana McConnell. Heard Erin was at your house today. Everything okay? I type back, all good. How are you holding up? Better every day. The kids are adjusting well, and my lawyer says the divorce should be final within 60 days. That's great news. Will, I want you to know something. What you did last Monday night saved my family. My kids deserve better than Brian, and now they'll get it. I smile and put the phone away. Sometimes doing the right thing has unexpected consequences. As the sun sets, Katie and Emma come inside, tired and grass-stained. We order pizza, watch a movie, and follow our normal bedtime routine. They don't ask about Erin's visit or when they'll see her again. They're focused on the present, on what's real and stable in their lives. That's me now, the constant, the reliable parent, the one who'll be here tomorrow and the day after that. It's a good feeling. Around 10 o'clock, after the girls are asleep, I pour a glass of wine and check my email. There's a message from my lawyer confirming that the divorce papers have been filed. Another from my accountant about separating our financial accounts. A third from Katie's school about an upcoming parent conference. Life moving forward. My phone rings, unknown number. Will Harlan. Mr. Harlan, this is Officer Johnson with Austin PD. We met earlier this week. I remember. What can I do for you? Sir, we have a situation at the Motel 6 on Highway 35. There's been a domestic disturbance involving your wife and Brian McConnell. My stomach drops. Are they hurt? No serious injuries, but we need someone to pick up Mrs. Harlan. She's been drinking, and Mr. McConnell has been arrested for assault. Assault? He hit her during an argument. Hotel security called it in. I close my eyes and take a deep breath. Even now, even after everything, Erin's still making destructive choices. Officer, I'll be there in 20 minutes. Thank you, sir. I call Sarah, Pete's wife, and ask if she can come sit with the girls. Then I drive across town to clean up another one of Erin's messes. The motel parking lot is full of police cars and flashing lights. Erin is sitting in the back of an ambulance, holding an ice pack to her face. She looks small and broken. Will, you came. The police called. Are you okay? Brian hit me. I can't believe he actually hit me. I sit down beside her. Erin, what were you thinking? Why were you here? I thought we could work things out, that maybe if his situation improved, we could be together properly. And instead, He blamed me for everything, said I ruined his life, said if I hadn't been so obvious about the affair, none of this would have happened. Officer Johnson approaches. Mr. Harlan, your wife is free to go. We'll need her to come in Monday to file a formal complaint if she wants to press charges. Do you want to press charges? I ask Erin. She shakes her head. I just want to go home. You can't go home, Erin. You don't live there anymore. The reality hits her like a physical blow. She has nowhere to go. I'll get you a hotel room for tonight, I say finally. Tomorrow you can figure out something more permanent. As we drive to a decent hotel across town, Erin is quiet. Finally, she speaks. Will, I've lost everything, haven't I? Not everything. You still have Katie and Emma. Do I? That depends on what you do next. I get her checked into a room and make sure she has everything she needs. At the door, she grabs my arm. Will, thank you for coming tonight, for not leaving me there. Erin, you're the mother of my children. I'll always make sure you're safe, but that doesn't mean we're getting back together. I know, I needed you to know that I appreciate it. Driving home, I think about the strange turns life takes. A week ago, I was the betrayed husband planning elaborate revenge. Tonight, I'm the stable ex-husband cleaning up messes. Maybe that's growth. Maybe that's what moving forward looks like. At home, Sarah updates me on the girls, both sleeping peacefully, no problems. After she leaves, I check on Katie and Emma, then pour another glass of wine and sit on the back porch. The night is quiet except for the distant sound of traffic and the occasional dog barking. My neighborhood, my home, my peace. Tomorrow I'll help Erin find an apartment. I'll support her efforts to rebuild her relationship with the girls. I'll be the bigger person, because that's what fathers do. But tonight, I'm just grateful to be here. In my house, with my daughters safe upstairs, and my future finally my own. It's been a long week. Sunday morning brings the kind of clarity that only comes after surviving a storm. I wake up naturally. No alarm, no frantic phone calls, no crisis demanding immediate attention. Just sunlight streaming through my bedroom window and the sound of my daughters talking quietly in the hallway. Is Daddy awake? Emma whispers. I think so. His door's open, Katie responds. Should we make him breakfast? We're not allowed to use the stove without permission. I smile and call out, I'm awake, girls, and yes, we can make breakfast together. The next hour is perfect in its simplicity. Scrambled eggs, toast, orange juice, and easy conversation about school, friends, and weekend plans. No mention of Erin or Brian or the chaos that's defined our lives for the past week. Just a father and his daughters enjoying Sunday morning. At 10 o'clock, my phone rings. Erin. Will, I need to ask you something. What? Can I take the girls to church today? I know it's not my scheduled time, but I want them to see that I'm trying to get my life together. I consider this. Church attendance doesn't erase adultery, but it might be a genuine step towards stability. Which church? St. Matthew's, the one we used to attend. Where everyone knows our family. Where people will see Erin with the girls and draw their own conclusions about our situation. Fine, but I'm coming with you. Will, you don't need to. Yes, I do. If you want to make a public appearance with my daughters, I'm going to be there. An hour later, we're sitting in the third pew of St. Matthew's Episcopal Church, looking like a normal family to anyone who doesn't know our story. Erin's dressed conservatively, makeup covering the bruise on her cheek from last night's encounter with Brian. The girls are in their Sunday dresses, happy to be together with both parents. Father Martinez delivers a sermon about forgiveness and redemption that feels uncomfortably relevant. Several parishioners nod at us during the service, and I can see them processing our presence together, probably assuming we've reconciled. After the service, we're approached by the Hendersons, longtime family friends. Will, Erin, so good to see you both, Mary Henderson says warmly. How are you doing? We're fine, Erin answers quickly. Just taking things one day at a time. That's wonderful. Marriage takes work, but it's worth fighting for. I see Erin's face light up with hope, thinking I'm going to play along with this narrative. Instead, I smile politely and say, Actually, Mary, Erin and I are getting divorced. We're here today because we're committed to co-parenting effectively. The silence is immediate and uncomfortable. Mary's smile freezes, and her husband looks like he wants to disappear. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize. It's fine, I continue. These things happen. The important thing is making sure Katie and Emma feel loved and supported through the transition. Erin's face has gone red with embarrassment, but she can't contradict me without making a scene in church. We have similar conversations with 3 other families, and each time I'm honest about our situation. By the time we reach the parking lot, Erin is furious. Why did you do that? Why did you embarrass me in front of everyone? I didn't embarrass you, Erin. I told the truth. There's a difference. You could have let them think we were working things out. Why? So you can maintain some fantasy that this is all going to blow over? The girls are playing on the church playground, out of earshot but visible. Will, I'm trying to rebuild my reputation, to show people that I'm not the terrible person everyone thinks I am. Then be a better person, consistently, over time. Don't try to manage people's perceptions. Easy for you to say, you're not the one everyone's talking about. Actually, I am. The difference is I'm not trying to control what they say. A car pulls into the parking lot. Dana McConnell gets out with her 2 children, both dressed for church. She sees us and walks over. Will, Erin, how are you both? We're fine, I answer. How are you and the kids adjusting? Better every day. The kids are excited about having their own rooms in our new apartment. She's being gracious, but there's steel underneath. Erin shifts uncomfortably. Dana, I want you to know how sorry I am about everything that happened. Dana studies Erin for a long moment. Are you? Because being sorry means understanding the impact of your actions, not just regretting the consequences. I do understand. Do you? Because my children asked me why Daddy doesn't live with us anymore. My 8-year-old son wanted to know if he did something wrong to make his father leave. Erin's eyes fill with tears, but Dana isn't finished. You knew Brian was married when you started your relationship. You knew he had children. You chose to pursue it anyway because what you wanted was more important than what his family needed. I made a mistake. You made a choice. Multiple choices, over several months. The conversation is attracting attention from other churchgoers. I can see people slowing down as they walk past, trying to listen without being obvious. Dana, I intervene, maybe we should... No, Will. She needs to hear this. Dana turns back to Erin. You want to rebuild your reputation? Start by taking full responsibility for your actions. Stop calling it a mistake. Stop making excuses. Own what you did and commit to never doing it again. I have committed to that. Have you? Because according to my sources, you were at Brian's motel room yesterday afternoon, even after everything that's happened. Erin's face goes white. How did you... Because I'm still having him monitored until our divorce is final, and because people in this town talk. Father Martinez approaches, probably sensing the tension. Ladies, is everything all right? Everything's fine, Father, Dana says calmly. We were just having an honest conversation about accountability and forgiveness. Ah, well, both are important virtues. Indeed they are. Dana looks at Erin one more time. I hope you find the strength to practice both. She walks away with her children, leaving Erin shaken and me oddly proud of her composure. Dad, can we go home now? Katie appears at my side. Emma's getting tired. Of course, sweetheart. The drive home is quiet. Erin sits in the passenger seat staring out the window while the girls chatter in the back about their Sunday school lesson. When we reach the house, she doesn't get out. Will, can we talk? Just for a few minutes? I send the girls inside to change clothes and sit back down in the driver's seat. What do you want to say? I think I'm finally starting to understand what I've done. Which part? All of it. The lying, the cheating, the way I justified everything to myself. The damage to you, to the girls, to Brian's family. That's a start. Dana was right. I kept calling it a mistake because that made it sound accidental. But it wasn't. I chose Brian over my family over and over again. Yes, you did. And now I have to live with the consequences. Yes, you do. She's quiet for a moment, then, Will, do you think there's any chance that someday you could forgive me? I already have forgiven you, Erin. You have? Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean trusting you again. It doesn't mean getting back together. It just means I'm not going to carry anger around anymore. So there's no chance for us? No, there isn't. She nods slowly, accepting this reality for the first time. What happens now? Now you figure out how to be the best mother you can be. You get counseling, you find a job, you build a life that Katie and Emma can respect. And you? I do the same thing I've been doing, take care of our daughters and move forward. She gets out of the car and walks to her own vehicle, parked at the curb. Before driving away, she rolls down her window. Will, thank you for coming to church today, and for not letting me live in denial anymore. You're welcome. After she leaves, I sit in my driveway for a few minutes, processing the morning. The confrontation with Dana, the honest conversations with church friends, the final acceptance that my marriage is truly over. It feels like the end of something, but also the beginning. Inside, The girls are watching television in their pajamas, having changed out of their church clothes. Normal Sunday afternoon behavior that feels precious after the morning's intensity. "Dad, are you and Mommy friends now?" Emma asks. "We're learning how to be friends in a new way. It takes practice." "Like when me and Katie fight but then make up?" "Something like that, sweetheart." My phone buzzes. Text from Pete. "Heard about the scene at church. You okay?" I type back, "Better than okay, finally moving forward." "Good man. Drinks later if you want to celebrate." "Maybe. Let me see how the day goes." The afternoon passes peacefully. We order pizza, work on a puzzle, and watch a movie. Around 6 o'clock, there's a knock at the door. Through the peephole, I see Detective Martinez. "Girls, stay here. I'll be right back." I open the door to find the detective looking uncomfortable. "Mr. Harlan, sorry to bother you on Sunday. I wanted to update you on last night's incident." "Is everything okay?" "Brian McConnell was released this morning on his own recognizance, but there's been a development." "What kind of development?" "He's been making threats against you, your wife, Dana McConnell. Nothing specific enough to arrest him for, but concerning enough that we wanted to warn everyone involved." "What kind of threats?" "He's telling people that his life was destroyed by lies and manipulation, that he's going to set the record straight, that everyone who wronged him will pay." "Detective, the man lost everything because he chose to have multiple affairs while married. That's not lies or manipulation, that's consequences." "I agree, Mr. Harlan, but desperate people sometimes do desperate things. I'd recommend being extra cautious for the next few days." After he leaves, I double-check all the locks and set the security system. Then I call Dana to make sure she received the same warning. "I did," she says. "My lawyer's filing for an emergency restraining order tomorrow morning." "Good idea." "Will, are you worried?" "Not really. Brian's a coward. Cowards make threats, but they rarely follow through." "I hope you're right." That evening, after the girls are in bed, I sit on my back porch with a glass of wine and think about the past week. 7 days ago, I discovered my wife's affair and decided to expose it. Tonight, I'm a single father with full custody, a peaceful home, and a clear conscience. The revenge I planned was surgical and effective. Brian lost his job, his marriage, and his reputation. Erin lost her husband, her home, and her social standing. Both are facing the natural consequences of their choices. But somewhere along the way, revenge turned into something else. Justice, maybe, or just the truth finally coming to light. My phone buzzes one last time. Text from an unknown number. This isn't over. Brian, probably, making empty threats from his motel room. I delete the message without responding. Some people never learn when to quit. But I've learned something important this week. The best revenge isn't elaborate schemes or public humiliation. It's living well. It's being the better person. It's protecting what matters and letting go of what doesn't. Tomorrow I'll take the girls to school, go to work, and continue building our new normal. Brian can make all the threats he wants from whatever rock he's hiding under. Erin can continue her journey toward redemption or self-destruction. Her choice. I'm done playing their games. The wine tastes good, the night air is cool, and my daughters are safe upstairs. Life is good, and it's only going to get better.